The Young and the Restless scoop for Friday, December 26th reveals Claire Newman will get into another heated argument with Audra Charles. Also coming up, Michael Baldwin will seek Lauren Fenmore's help. Plus, Sally Spectra will become privy to some information, and Chelsea Lawson will put Adam Newman's loyalty to the test. Y&R spoilers tease Chelsea's fed up with Victor Newman using Newman media to fight his battles and settle old scores. Of course, she's also just about had it with Adam towing the line with his father. So, when she gives him an ultimatum and asks where his loyalty lies, to her or his dear old dad, who will he choose? At Crimson Lights, Michael will struggle with his own loyalty test. Diane Jenkins asked him to steal the AI software from Victor, and he said he'd try. However, if he goes through with it, any progress he's made with Victor will go out the window, so he'll turn to his wife for advice on how to handle it. Lauren will ask him what could be more of a threat, an invasive AI program that could destroy the businesses of their dearest friends. Or to double-cross Victor Newman? But what will Michael do? Meanwhile, during a run-in with Adam, Sally will learn some information that could be key in Jack Abbott's battle against Victor. Not surprisingly, she'll share what she's found out with Jack and Billy Abbott. Finally, Claire and Audra will run into each other at Society. A spoiler photo shows the two women quarreling. But just like their last few altercation, Holden Novak will be there to referee and intercede if need be. However, will Claire's claws come out and will she go for Audra's throat again? And if so, will the fiery vixen fight back? Stay tuned! Hey Y&R fans! Are you enjoying the new CBS Sudcere Beyond the Gates? Then make sure you join our free Facebook group. Keep reading the soap scoop for Young and the Restless spoilers and news, and make sure to also join our Y&R Facebook group or leave us a reply in our comments section. But if you miss an episode, don't fret. You can watch The Young and the Restless online at cbs.com. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of December 29th to January 6th reveal that Matt Clark, aka Mitch Bacall, will play dirty after Nick Newman's plan goes wrong. We should also discuss the New Year's Day schedule, so let's dive in. First, the Abbotts will have another strategy session as they prepare for their next move against Victor Newman. Jack Abbott and Billy Abbott will do some scheming after receiving some info from Sally Spectra. As for Diane Jenkins Abbott, she'll hold out hope that Michael Baldwin will come through for the Abbott clan. Will Michael really be willing to betray Victor and help get the AI program proof that Diane's asked for? Adam Newman will have to make a decision of his own regarding his future at Newman Media, especially after Chelsea Lawson puts her foot down regarding Victor's dirty tactics. Speaking of dirty tactics, Matt will certainly use some of those in his fight against the Newmans. Nick thinks he can control the situation by offering Matt a deal, so he'll spell out his terms and try to set a trap. Of course, Matt isn't a fool and will inevitably cause more drama as a result. Nick could fall into a trap instead if he isn't careful, so Sharon Newman will definitely worry about what's in store. Noah Newman will continue to worry about Sienna Bacall since she's stuck in Matt and Annie Stewart's clutches. Sienna will remain in grave danger throughout this Matt mess, but Noah will do whatever it takes to save her. Matt will go after even more Newmans as this storyline moves along, so that could put Nikki Newman, Claire Newman, and other family members at risk too. As for the New Year's Day schedule, Y&R will air a classic 1998 episode on Thursday, January 1st, so tune in if you want to watch Katherine Chancellor and Jill Abbott in one of their old sparring matches. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the week of December 29th, January 2nd will bring some conflict and chaos, so stick with us for all the jaw-dropping news to come. The Young and the Restless recap for Wednesday, December 24th, reveals that Victor Newman and Nikki Newman will kiss after trading gifts. Sally Spectra's will also confess some daddy issues, so here's what Y&R fans can expect. For starters, Sally and Billy Abbott will welcome Victoria Newman, Johnny Abbott, and Katie Abbott for a tree trimming party. Since they waited until the last minute and could only get a little Charlie Brown tree, Billy will poke fun at it. Billy will also admit he forgot to get the ornaments out of storage, but Sally will suggest improvising with some popcorn garland. At one point, Billy will go on a rant about Abbott Communications having integrity unlike Newman Media, but he'll eventually focus on the Christmas fun. After Katie realizes they don't have a star, Billy will offer up some tinfoil so they can make one. While Katie, Johnny, and Billy are out of the room, Sally and Victoria will share their concerns about Billy's anger problems. Sally will confess that her father was a lot like Billy since he gambled and made grand promises. That'll leave Victoria wondering whether Sally wants to love Billy or save him. Once Sally reflects on a Christmas when her dad promised a sewing machine and let her down, she'll get emotional. As Billy appears around the corner and eavesdrops, Sally will tearfully tell Victoria that this restart at Abbott Communications has to be real. Sally will basically warn that her relationship with Billy won't survive another disappointment. Once Victoria, Katie, and Johnny leave, Billy will share a sweet moment on the sofa with Sally as he expresses how grateful he is for her. At the Abbott mansion, Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott will opt to forget about all the Victor drama as they exchange Christmas presents. After Diane gives Jack a Max Factor autobiography, he'll give her a necklace that belonged to Coco Chanel. Jack will share some sweet scenes with Diane as he assures her that she's an integral part of the Abbott family. At the Newman Ranch, Victor will be surprised when Nikki comes home. Nikki will acknowledge that she's still angry with Victor, but she'll want to be with her family this Christmas. Victor will agree they can put their conflict aside for the sake of their loved ones before handing over a gift for Nikki to open. It'll be a gorgeous necklace that's believed to have been part of the monarch Maria Theresa's collection. Nikki will admit it's magnificent, but she'll make it clear that Victor isn't going to charm his way into changing her stance on Jack. That said, Nikki will decide to give Victor a gift she bought for him long before they were fighting. It'll be one Hannah Arendt's journals since she was a German-American philosopher who Victor admired. There'll be some flashbacks of happier holidays, as well as other Christmases when Victor and Nikki were fighting. After Victor reflects on his mother dropping him off at the orphanage when he was a boy, he'll play up the wonderful life he's built with Nikki. In the end, Victor and Nikki will hold hands before they share a holiday kiss. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Nikki and Victor's tension won't be entirely resolved due to his ongoing feud with Jack, so stay tuned for updates on troubling news ahead. Sally makes a shocking admission about Billy on Christmas Eve. On The Young and the Restless, December 24th, Sally comes to terms with her feelings for Billy, who overhears her conversation. He's not happy with what she has to say. More. How Y&R's Billy could give Phyllis a second chance. On Christmas Eve, Victoria visited Billy's with their kids, Johnny and Katie. While Billy is occupied with the kids and decorating, Victoria and Sally sit on the couch talking. Victoria admitted that she's worried about Billy. She feared that he was not new and improved, despite his claims to the contrary. Sally agreed and says she's been worried about him as well. She knew that he had been trying to work on himself. However, the hurt from Jill still cuts deep. Billy's hatred for Victor is bubbling to the surface. Sally wondered if Billy had ever felt peace in his life, rather than anger for others. Sally admitted that their feelings for each other are real. Additionally, he swore to her that he had let go of his anger and was now only focused on the positive aspects, such as the success of Abbott Communications. But Sally has been triggered by her childhood trauma. Her father is similar to Billy in that he would gamble away his family's debts. Sally also recalled the times when he would numb himself with alcohol. Victoria asked Sally an important question. Was she trying to love Billy, or was she trying to save him from himself? Sally shared a story of when her father promised her a sewing machine, which never happened. Neither the gift nor her father was there on Christmas Day. Meanwhile, Billy listened to Sally's confession from the hallway with a stoic expression. Sally told Victoria that Billy had promised her an incredible future with Abbott Communications, but she feared it could all be gone tomorrow. Billy's expression was hard to read when he listened in on Sally and Victoria's conversation. After everyone had left, Billy told Sally that the kids had done an incredible job with the Christmas tree. He assured her that he believed in her and what they could accomplish together. Sally told Billy that she was grateful to have him in her life. She said, "Merry Christmas," before they kissed. Sally genuinely loves Billy. Unfortunately, her childhood trauma makes it difficult for her to navigate this rocky relationship. Her relationship with Kane could cause even bigger problems for her daughter. The young and the restless has been teasing Summer's rumored return. She could end up in Genoa City after discovering that Marchetti had gone under. Phyllis has been entangled with Kane both professionally and romantically, which could ruin everything that her daughter worked so hard to build. In May 2024, Summer left Genoa City for Italy. She had to focus on Marchetti since she lost Sally and Chelsea. They jumped onto their respective partners' businesses, which hasn't been smooth sailing. In fact, Summer is at the center of some of the drama, no thanks to her mom. Phyllis gave Victor the AI software program, so this gives him free rein to attack anyone. But Victor proved that he doesn't need AI to take down Jack. He can just easily expose his weakness by having his son, Adam, release a hit piece about Jabot shutting down. The news came out at the Abbott Communications launch party. Daniel wondered what this meant for Summer. He immediately called his sister and asked her to contact him at her earliest convenience. Daniel was shocked since Jabot was the strongest company in Genoa City. He doesn't understand how this could happen. That's when he wondered whether his own mother knew. Phyllis said she was blindsided by this news. Jack didn't tell her what happened. She was gravely concerned about Jabot. Daniel pressed his mom for more information. Why was she so concerned about Jabot? She claimed that she was more concerned about Summer. It could affect her professionally and financially. Daniel could tell that Phyllis was in the midst of whatever was happening with Jabot. She blamed Victor for what happened, but her relationship with Kane isn't any better. No one can trust her, not even her own children. Phyllis's plan with Victor could ultimately be exposed. After all, she should know better than to trust Victor's intentions. Victor could expose her dirty little secret, and then find out that she's been canoodling with Kane behind his back, which also won't be kept secret for long. Phyllis is involved with a man who's ruined so many businesses and lives since his return. Summer will be livid once she finds out the truth and what it cost her future. Sally helps Jabot. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Friday, December 26th, celebrate the holiday season, with Chelsea wanting to see a little more goodwill towards men from Adam, and Lauren fighting to keep her husband away from the Grinch for good. Adam and Chelsea work for Victor. Victor told them to plant a story smearing Jack. Adam did it. Now, Chelsea is horrified to learn that the media can be manipulated, biased, and used to push a meanie-pants agenda. Not only did she not know this before, but doing bad things for money is totally off-brand for Chelsea. Now, Chelsea is a good, upstanding, and moral person who would never deliberately cause another person distress. So she is mad at Adam for doing his job, and she needs him to stop. Is there a way he can do that and still keep the money Chelsea loves? Oh, so much? Victor howled at Michael and excommunicated him for daring to keep Victor from paying for his crimes. Lauren was ecstatic. Free at last. Free at least. Thank God Almighty. Michael was free at last. It didn't last long. Victor generously forgave Michael and allowed him to continue doing favors for Victor. This includes helping him to destroy Jack. Why Michael is going along with that maniac, we have no idea. Neither does Lauren, and she would really like him to quit it, once and for all. Jack and Billy are doing their best to hold Victor off. They have big plans, but it's Sally who delivers the final bit of information they need to do an end run around Victor and start the new year without his smug self-satisfaction. The Young and the Restless, spoilers hint that Kane Ashby, Phyllis Summers, and Jack Abbott could be gearing up for a mega alliance. Will these schemers come together for a Newman takeover? Y&R fans know Jack had Billy Abbott talk to Phyllis about stealing the AI program back from Victor Newman. Jack wants to destroy that program and eliminate the threats to the Abbotts ASAP. Phyllis is willing to do what the Abbott clan wants as long as they sign over Marchetti to Summer, but she clearly wants to put the AI program to good use before its destruction. In the December 23rd episode, Phyllis made a pitch to Kane about teaming up for a Newman takeover. Now that Victor has double-crossed Phyllis, she's ready to go after his company and get money as well as power. If Jack gets vengeful enough, he might get on board with that plan and agree to help. 3 heads are better than 2, so it'd be fun to see Kane, Phyllis, and Jack unite against Victor on this sneaky plan. Of course, Kane hasn't agreed to join forces with Phyllis yet. Things could get tricky on Kane's end thanks to Lily Winters spotting him with his lips on Phyllis in his office. However, if Kane loses the progress he's made with Lily, he may decide to salvage some sort of satisfaction by moving forward with Phyllis's plot. At least Kane could get revenge on Victor and reclaim some of the power that was stripped from him. Naturally, it's hard to believe anyone could ever truly best Victor. Even with Kane, Phyllis, Jack, and the full force of the Abbott family, it may not be enough to bring Victor down. That said, Victor is out of control at this point and needs someone to keep him in check. This Newman takeover scheme may not pan out, but let's hope that the AI program's destruction becomes a reality. The Young and the Restless spoilers say this mega alliance could be rising up against Victor and may deliver some shocking news. The Young and the Restless spoilers show that your favorite actors played a fun game of this or that, and we're here to share the merriment that resulted. It all went down on the YNR Insider YouTube channel, and some of the answers are hilarious. Tamara Braun and Roger Howarth were both asked about being naughty or nice question, and they were in agreement. Naughty! Michelle Stafford was asked about Christmas cookies or fruitcake, and she replied, Christmas cookies. Does anyone eat fruitcake? Does anybody like that? Meanwhile, Susan Walters and Peter Bergman opened a red gift box, in which was the question, would you rather cook the Christmas meal or clean the dishes? They also were in agreement with their answer, choosing cleaning over cooking, with Walters saying, always clean the dishes. It's always, hey Sue, bring a salad, don't cook. When it came to choosing holiday shopping online or in person, both Sharon Case and Lucas Adams agreed that online shopping is the way to go. Joshua Morrow, Nathan Owens, and Zuleika Silver were all asked if they would prefer to go ice skating or sledding. Morrow chose ice skating with all the cool gear, Silver preferred ice skating, even if I fall on my butt, and Owens took a different route with sledding because I can make jumps. Melody Thomas Scott and Eric Braden were asked if they prefer Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Scott chose Christmas Day and Braden chose Christmas Eve. According to Braden, in Germany, Christmas Eve is the biggest time. We looked forward to that after the war. We had nothing but the smell of the trees. Scott replied, well, I would like to do it on Christmas morning because that's when all the kids and grandkids are there. And it's almost more exciting to watch them open their presents. Finally, Michael Graziade was asked to choose between candy canes or chocolates, and he had the line of the day, I would rather get corn dogs. There's one in every crowd. Tell us what your favorite Christmas treat is, YNR fans. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with the Young and the Restless right now. Come back here often for the hottest YNR updates, news, and spoilers. Get comfortable and gain access to the best soap intel on the web. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates suggest that Sharon Newman might find a new love interest, depending on the direction the show takes her character next. Is it finally time for Sharon to move on from the uncertain Nick Newman and find someone with a future in mind? It's clear that Sharon would love to explore another chapter with Nick, but he still hasn't made a genuine commitment to her. If Nick remains hesitant even after the chaos involving Matt Clark, also known as Mitch Bacall, comes to an end, Sharon may need to reconsider her options. Sharon and Nick have faced numerous challenges together, and more are on the horizon with Matt's recent return to Genoa City. If this troubling situation doesn't motivate Nick to make a commitment, it could signal the end of their romantic future. With this in mind, we might want to consider an alternative romantic storyline for Sharon. At least one YNR heartthrob could find himself getting closer to Sharon at the perfect time with Detective Burrow, now in Genoa City. He's collaborating with the GCPD to take down Matt. If Detective Burrow ends up being the hero of the day, Sharon might feel a deep sense of gratitude towards him. One can easily picture a moment where Sharon expresses her regret for not trusting Burrow earlier. She may express her thanks to Burrow for assisting in putting Matt behind bars, or even worse, depending on how things unfold. Should Burrow secure a permanent transfer to the GCPD, it could open the door for some romantic possibilities in Genoa City. Matt Cohen is an exceptional actor who deserves to stick around, so perhaps the show will keep him in town for fresh storylines. The chemistry between Sharon and Detective Burrow could make for a sizzling couple, making this pairing a viable option. It would certainly be an intriguing twist if Burrow developed feelings for Sharon while they tackle the impending Matt situation. This could spark some jealousy in Nick, potentially leading him to reconsider his commitment to Sharon in the future. However, it's also feasible that Sharon and Nick might remain just friends indefinitely. If that's the scenario, Sharon could be inclined to pursue something new with Detective Burrow. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Newmans and the Abbotts will take a break from fighting over the AI program and take time to celebrate Christmas. Nikki Newman has already threatened to walk away from Victor Newman. Jack Abbott and Diane Abbott celebrate. Billy Abbott and Victoria Newman spend time with their kids. Victor and Nikki have been at odds since Victor got his hands on the AI program. Victor plans to use the program to go after Jabot, and Nikki is tired of the fighting. Nikki has seen Victor go after people who didn't deserve his wrath for years. Nikki has even threatened to leave Victor if he doesn't back down and leave Jack alone. Nikki and Victor will find themselves reminded of the true meaning of Christmas. Is putting an end to Jack and Jabot worth losing the love of his life over? Does Victor really want Nikki to walk out the door and leave him? Will Victor finally realize that he needs to stop and listen to Nikki before he loses her for good? Jack and Diane have been fighting Victor in every way possible to save Jabot. Jack has turned to everyone he knows that could possibly help. Diane is trying her best to get Michael Baldwin to help stop Victor from attacking Jabot. Unfortunately, Michael is working with Victor and knows exactly what he did. Michael has tried to talk Victor down as well, but nothing has worked. Things are looking pretty dire right now. However, Jack and Diane have their health, their family, their friends, and their legacy. Whatever happens, the family will be okay. Will Jack and Diane make peace with whatever happens and enjoy their family holiday? Billy will take a break from fighting with Victor as well. Billy and Victoria always get along well most of the time. Today, their children will join the two of them to celebrate Christmas. The kids don't have Victor in their mother's ear telling her what a failure. Billy is doing the best he can to give his kids a happy holiday season. Will Billy and Victoria manage to get through Christmas without having to tell them everything Victor is doing to go after Billy and his family's company? Billy is an Abbott, and Jabot belongs to his family. Victor is directly going after Billy's family, and the kids are getting old enough to see this. Can Victoria do something to keep the kids from finding out the truth? Or will they be honest with them about Victor's attack? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sienna Bacall might not be an ally like Noah Newman thinks. What are the chances that Sienna really is secretly working with Matt Clark? At some point, Aline Nguyen Abbott will want to confront her boyfriend face-to-face. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's talk about Noah's betrayal. Since the recasting, the young man has changed a lot. I'm not talking about just a new face and voice, but his personality. Noah was always a good guy, but for months, he's been lying to his own family. In addition to that, everyone was stunned that Noah was cheating on Allie with Sienna. Jack Abbott didn't know the couple was having any trouble. Even Nick Newman and Sharon Newman were shocked by the turn in events. Then, we have Sienna. Part of the time, Sienna seems to really care for Noah. Fans might recall that Matt was going to force Noah to take fentanyl. However, Sienna urged him not to. While that seemed to show Noah that she truly cared, I wonder if it was just part of the game. There were also Sienna's reassurances that her feelings for Noah are real. It's just really hard to tell if she's being genuine or not. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sienna was going to stay in LA when Schick took Noah home. However, Noah refused to leave unless Sienna came with him. The brunette seemed surprised, almost like this wasn't part of the plan. Then, Sienna met with Victor Newman. The patriarch was willing to pay Sienna to leave Noah. The lady refused, but then made a big deal about losing everything because of Noah's family. Sienna's whole take on the situation really made me raise my eyebrows. If it is really love, then why would she even care about Matt's money or a job at a club? At some point, Noah might get his heart broken. It seems everyone is suspicious of Sienna, except for Noah. Chances are that everyone is right about her not being on the up and up. However, at some point, Allie could come back to GC. The young lady will want to confront Noah for cheating and lying to her all this time. If Noah realizes he was tricked, will Allie even forgive him? The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for Wednesday, December 24th, 2025. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Victoria Newman to call a truce. Victor Newman is reminded of the true meaning of Christmas. Plus, Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott count their blessings. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Jack and Diane. Even though they had to take Jabot offline and are now dealing with Victor's media attack, Tracy Abbott issued some good advice. Tracy suggested that Diane is the right person to fight for the Abbott family. At the same time, Tracy recommended that Jack and Diane wait to strike back. The holidays are supposed to be about family, not fighting. So Jack and Diane will do just that and count their blessings. While they are in uncharted territories with Jabot, they still have so much to be grateful for. Over at Billy Abbott and Sally Spector's place, there will be a Christmas surprise. Victoria calls a truce and brings the kids to see their dad. As Sally gives a big dimple-filled smile, Victoria stops by with Johnny Abbott and Katie Abbott. Even though Victor is attacking the Abbotts, Victoria isn't a part of that. Plus, they know the holidays are really about the kids. The Young and the Restless spoilers for tomorrow's episode reveal that Nikki threatened to leave Victor over his attack on Jack. Not only is Jack a longtime friend, but he saved Nikki during her relapse storyline. It's also Christmas, which just makes it even worse for Nikki. However, Nikki was reminded of everything she's gone through with Victor. While the man is selfish and arrogant, he does love his family. As for Victor, he told Nikki to leave if she wanted to. However, he really didn't mean that. Victor really doesn't have anything if Nikki is gone. So, I imagine that Victor will get a reminder of the true meaning of Christmas. While Nikki and Victor still have a lot to overcome with their marriage, for the holidays, they will come together and celebrate with the family. So, let's see what the future holds in 2026. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Wednesday, December 24th, 2025? Chelsea Lawson and Adam Newman this week. Adam admitted that Connor had suffered a few minor setbacks at school recently. Can Connor get back on track, or is he about to be institutionalized again? Connor was diagnosed with obsessive-compulsive disorder a few years ago. The boy has been through a lot in his young life and was also diagnosed with trauma as well. Connor had been doing very well with his therapy. However, it was mentioned that he had recently had another setback that can be very worrisome for his parents. Connor has struggled with thoughts that he doesn't deserve to be happy. Connor was sent away for therapy, and in this time, parents ended up sleeping together. Of course, they cheated on their significant others at the time, and finally admitted that they wanted to give their relationship another chance. Adam and Chelsea ended up moving in together in the old Newman ranch house after Victor Newman rebuilt that one that had burned years ago. Before the Abbott communications party, Chelsea and Adam admitted to Victor that Connor had suffered a setback. Connor had recently dropped out of his school party at the last minute. Adam and Chelsea were planning to leave Genoa City and go visit him. Other than that, Chelsea and Adam didn't give any further updates. Of course, Victor has been keeping them pretty busy. Adam and Chelsea didn't mention if they were staying with Connor for Christmas or if he might be coming home. They also never mentioned how long they thought Connor would have to be away or anything about his life, other than the setbacks now that he is working with a new doctor. So just how bad is Connor? Connor could be coming back to Genoa City since he isn't happy. However, right now is not the time for him to be returning home. Connor doesn't need to be exposed to the trouble going on at the Newman house between Nikki Newman and Victor. This whole takeover thing would be way too stressful for him. Connor also does not need to be brought in during everything with Matt Clark. Connor does not need to be traumatized by a possible kidnapping either. Could Connor come home for Christmas and end up being further traumatized by everything going on in Genoa City? Could Chelsea and Adam break up, leading to even more issues for Connor's mental health? Matt Clark targeted Noah, but Nick refused to let him break his son and took control on the Young and the Restless. In the December 23rd episode of The Young and the Restless, Nick made it clear he would not let Matt Clark destroy his son without consequences. When Noah reached his breaking point and refused to wait for proof or permission, Nick stepped in and took control, shifting the battle with Matt into a far more dangerous phase. Noah reached the end of his patience. When his family hesitated to accept that Matt was responsible for Sienna's disappearance, he decided he would handle it alone. That defiance didn't last long. Matt called Noah himself, taunting him and deliberately poking at his vulnerabilities. He mocked Noah's concern for Sienna, questioned his motives, and treated the situation like a game. The call rattled Noah and confirmed just how deeply Matt was enjoying the control he had. When Sharon tried to intervene, it only heightened Noah's panic. The call ended abruptly, leaving him desperate and terrified that time was running out. That was when Nick stepped in. Nick recognized something Noah couldn't see in the moment. Matt's power depended on isolation and fear. As long as Noah was emotionally exposed, Matt held the advantage. By taking the phone and calling Matt back himself, Nick changed the dynamic. He didn't plead. He didn't threaten blindly. He offered Matt something he hadn't expected: a negotiation. That move forced Matt out of the shadows. Instead of manipulating Noah, Matt now had to deal directly with Nick, someone who understood leverage, timing, and consequences. Nick wasn't just protecting his son. He was reframing the fight. Nick's decision didn't resolve Sienna's fate immediately, but it set the stage for what came next. Matt was no longer dealing with a frightened son acting alone. He was facing a father willing to escalate the situation and force outcomes. By refusing to let Matt break Noah emotionally, Nick pushed the conflict into open territory, where Matt's mistakes could finally catch up with him. What followed was no longer about intimidation. It was about control, and Nick had just claimed it. Tracy came home just in time to save the annual Abbott Christmas. On The Young and the Restless, December 23rd, Tracy returns to Genoa City to save Christmas. The Abbotts are falling apart after Newman Media released a hit piece about Jabot's shutdown. Now, they are trying to reclaim the spirit of the season. In Tuesday's episode, Diane is frantically checking her phone. She sent Michael a text message asking what he found about Victor. Tracy returns home at the right time. She's already aware of what's happening with the Abbotts, thanks in part to that hit piece released by Newman Media. Diane informed Tracy that she has Michael helping them. She refuses to back down to Victor. But she doesn't just need Michael's help, she also needs Tracy's help with saving the Abbott Christmas. Tracy returned to New York this year after her fiancé, Alan, was revealed to be his evil twin brother. She's been on the show here and there, mostly returning home for holidays and special occasions. Y&R viewers will be ecstatic to hear that she's finally getting her own storyline, even if it's just for the holiday season. It's up to her to save the Abbott Christmas, as the family is in shambles over the Jabot shutdown and the news coming out. Tracy feels good to be able to help her family. However, she told Diane that she thinks she's the fighter that the family needs right now. They're lucky to have her on their side. Tracy is the perfect person to remind Diane to embrace the spirit of the season. It's a simple message that could make a significant shift. The Abbotts need to remember that it's important to fight for what matters most. The family needs to focus on what they have during this time, which is each other. Nothing will be able to tear them apart, not even the mustache. The Young and the Restless has fans feeling the Christmas spirit with this fun game. The Young and the Restless is getting fans into the holiday spirit. The cast played a game of this or that, which revealed some shocking answers. Just in time for the holiday season, Y&R Insider YouTube channel dropped its annual This or That truce. Christmas edition. Some of your favorites from the soap got in on the fun as they filmed scenes. Susan Walters and Peter Bergman kicked things off. They opened up a red gift box, which had the question, "Would you rather cook the Christmas meal or clean the dishes?" Bergman responded, "Always clean the dishes." Jenkins agreed, chiming in, "Always clean the dishes. It's always, hey Sue, bring a salad, don't cook." Tamara Braun and Roger Howarth got the infamous naughty or nice question. Both agreed that it was better to be naughty. Michelle Stafford was asked whether she would prefer eating Christmas cookies or a fruitcake. Christmas cookies? Does anyone eat fruitcake? Does anybody like that? She said with a smile. Meanwhile, Sharon Case and Lucas Adams were asked whether they would rather do their holiday shopping online or in person. While it was a hard decision, they both agreed that online shopping was better, even when it's for yourself. Joshua Morrow was asked whether he would go ice skating or sledding. He admitted that while ice skating has all the cool gear, he would be a champ at sledding. Nathan Owens and Zuleika Silver got the same question. Silver admitted she would rather go ice skating, even if I fall on my butt. Owens would rather go sledding because I can make jumps. Christian LeBlanc and Tracy Bregman debated over this question. That's when Bregman shared a fun fact. She skated as a child. Now, if you saw me on the rink, you would wonder what happened to that girl. LeBlanc's mouth was filled with Christmas cookies. He pointed to the word sledding. No need to say more. Speaking of Christmas goodies, Michael Gratidet was asked whether he would rather receive candy canes or chocolates. Gratidet responded, "I would rather get corn dogs." Let's end this article with the Y&R vets, Melody Thomas Scott and Eric Braden. They were asked whether they prefer Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Scott prefers Christmas Day, while Braden admitted he loved Christmas Eve. Because in Germany, Christmas Eve is the biggest time. We looked forward to that after the war. We had nothing but the smell of the trees. Scott looked at the camera and back at Braden, as she had heard this story before. Well, I would like to do it on Christmas morning, because that's when all the kids and grandkids are there, and it's almost more exciting to watch them open their presents, Scott responded. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next 2 weeks suggest some twists. Expect Matt Clark to cause mayhem in Genoa City. Michael Baldwin chooses a side. Plus, Kane Ashby is crushed. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Before getting to the two-weekers, let's start off by discussing what is coming up from December 22 to 26, 2025. Fans will continue to see Victoria Newman worry about Claire Grace Newman's connection to Holden Novak. Victoria won't be the only one to worry about Claire's connection to Holden. Victor Newman will also voice his concerns. As for Nikki Newman, she has threatened to divorce Victor over the Jabot scandal. Nikki has stood by Victor during his worst moments. However, she is getting fed up, especially since Jack Abbott saved her life. Meanwhile, Kyle Abbott will wonder if there is any future with Claire. The young man is starting to realize it might be time to give up. Of course, that's probably when Claire will realize he is the one. As for Kane, he will get crushing news, just when he was getting in with Lily Winters. She spots something disturbing. Lily sees Kane getting a little too close to Phyllis Summers. Over with Noah Newman, he will tell his parents about Sienna Bacall's kidnapping. Nick Newman and Sharon Newman will be worried about their son's head injury. However, he will insist that they have to find Sienna. When Nick suggests that Sienna went with Matt willingly, Noah blows up. By the end of the week, there will be a showdown between Nick and Matt. However, which man will be the winner? Aside from all the Matt and business drama, it's also Christmas. Victor and Nikki are reminded of the true meaning of Christmas. Meanwhile, Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott count their blessings. Billy Abbott and Victoria form a truce for the holiday. So, that brings Johnny Abbott and Katie Abbott by. Plus, Sally Spectra delivers powerful intel to the Abbott family. Also, Lauren Fenmore Baldwin will help Michael figure out which friend to betray. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next 2 weeks reveal that fans will likely see the outcome of Nick's face-off with Matt. Sienna will likely be rescued, but could Schick be right to suspect her? There should also be some New Year's celebrations and romance, so stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates suggest that Phyllis Summers may soon encounter her next major crisis. Will Matt Clark, also known as Mitch Bacall, compel the hacker to join his revenge plot against Victor Newman? With Matt now back in Genoa City, it's quite likely that he could easily engage in some eavesdropping. At any moment, he might catch wind of Phyllis finalizing her agreement with the Abbotts. Fans of Y&R are well aware that Phyllis had one straightforward request during her discussion with Billy Abbott. In return for retrieving the AI program from Victor, Phyllis is counting on the Abbotts to officially transfer ownership of Marchetti to Summer Newman, thereby ensuring that the company is entirely under her control. It's possible that Phyllis will have another meeting with Billy, or perhaps sit down with Jack Abbott to get this agreement documented. Before she takes further action to outmaneuver Victor, Phyllis may very well secure evidence that this deal is indeed in the works. If Matt receives updates about the situation, he could discover a golden opportunity. Given that Victor utilized this AI program to obliterate Matt's finances, he would definitely be alert if he learned that Phyllis was planning to do some hacking to retrieve it. Matt could easily take over this scheme and assume that Phyllis intends to steal it for him, not for the Abbotts. Should Matt have the opportunity to threaten Victor with the same program, he certainly wouldn't let it slip away. He might force Phyllis into doing his dirty work at gunpoint, or even intimidate her children and grandchildren. Phyllis hasn't completely processed the trauma of being held hostage by Martin Laurent, but now she could be faced with yet another traumatic ordeal. Matt might pull Phyllis into his plot against Victor and the Newmans, which could mean some shocking news lies ahead for her. This AI program could result in even more chaos and grant monstrous Matt some influence. Perhaps Matt could leverage this to attempt to reclaim his fortune. He might threaten that Victor is going to restore everything he lost, or else Victor's own empire will face destruction. Naturally, Matt would likely intend to burn it all down in the end and ensure Victor suffers alongside his family.